Welcome to the finale of Season 10 of the Lord of the Rings Online. I have finished all that I can do for now in Forochel, and behind me are some of the ruins which will be in Eregion, which is going to be the site of Season 11. That is something to be looking forward to as we head south out of the Trollshaws here. Now, for the finale of each season, I do like to go over all of the deeds in the region and hit up a couple of other things as well. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Number one, I like to kind of update my virtues, my class traits, and everything else. Now, I don't have any more class points to spend, unfortunately. I do have a lot of deeds that I have to complete to unlock more points. Those deeds are unlocked by using skills pertaining to your class, but you have to use them in enemies that are not too far below your level. Since I have been over-leveled, I have been lagging behind on that, but there's not much I can do about that for now. These racial traits, there's not much that's going to change from here on out because I've unlocked all of them and I already have all the best ones that I can have equipped. So this is probably never going to change again. However, the virtues, I did have mainly defensive virtues here to make my warden very resilient in battle. But since I am so over-leveled and have been for the past several seasons, I changed a few things up. I changed these first three traits here, so now I'm rocking determination, discipline, and fortitude. I left the honor and the tolerance the same. These three new traits are going to give me agility, might. They're just going to make me a little bit more powerful and more effective on the offensive instead of defensive. That way I can progress a little bit quicker through the content, kill enemies a little bit faster. I think that's appropriate for now. Next up, I do like to head into a new season with a title related to the previous season. So here in Forochel, we helped out the Losoth. So my new title is Kip and Proud Feet, Losoth. And you unlock this one by becoming kindred with the Losoth of Forochel. So next up, the main content of this episode is going to be talking about some of the deeds. So there are the Explorer deeds, the Battle of Forochel, and the Ancient Stones. So the Ancient Stones, you have to find certain landmarks, mainly dwarven ruins within Forochel. The Battle of Forochel are battle points controlled by the Gauradan, and I'll be showing you all of those. So there are three deeds here: the Expeditionary, Pioneer, and Survivor, and these three deeds you complete by doing a certain number of quests within Forochel. There's of course the Meta deed for completing the Explorer, the Pioneer deed for completing quests, Slayer deed, and the Lost Fellowship deed. So let's talk a little bit more about those. The Lost Fellowship, you may remember, pertains to a lot of quests that I did throughout the season. You have to aid all the members of the Lost Fellowship. So the Champion, the Guardian, the Burglar, the Captain, the Hunter, the Lore Master, the Minstrel. All of those characters send you on several quests throughout Forochel. I'm not going to re-edit those quests into this episode because that would make this episode like 2 hours long. So just refer back to the previous episodes in this season where I helped out all of these characters. Then of course there are the Slayer deeds: Angmarim, Dourhand, Gauradan. There are the Grim-slayer deed, Sabre-tooth Slayer, and Worm-slayer. And of course the meta deed for the Slayers. So let's go ahead and actually see some of those deeds right now. The first exploration deed is the Ancient Stones of Forochel. While the Losoth of Forochel are not great builders, the dwarves long ago had many mines and encampments in the north. The first landmark is J.R.R. In an age when dwarves mined the crags and bluffs of Forochel, they built many fortresses. J.R.R. is one such place, though it has long been abandoned. Rumor has it that fell spirits now dwell here, but rumors run wild among the old ruins. The next landmark is the Iron Span. The Iron Span was built by the dwarves long ago, as they sought precious metals and gems in the mountains of Forochel and Angmar. When the dwarves abandoned their endeavors, the witch realm of Angmar wrested control of the Great Gate. The next landmark is Ziggelgund. Ziggelgund is an ancient dwarf site to which the Longbeards have only recently returned. The next landmark is the Lonesome Stones. The Lonesome Stones are a weary and ruined reminder of ancient days when dwarves mined the crags of Forochel. Finally, there is the Ice Reef Mines. The Ice Reef Mines long stood unused, but now the Dourhand seek to use them for their own benefit. The second and final exploration deed in Forochel is the Battle of Forochel. Discover each of the key battlegrounds for control of the Ice Bay of Forochel. The first location is Hilgileri. Forochel is dotted with many small hunting camps, including Hilgileri, the camp of the seal. The next site is Karhuleri. Karhuleri, the camp of the bear, is one of many Losoth hunting camps spread across Forochel. Next, there's Pintileri. Pintileri, the camp of the hunt, is one of the more popular hunting camps of the Losoth. Finally, there's the Norsuleri. Norsuleri, the camp of the mammoth, was established by the Losoth as a place from which to hunt the native mammoths. Next up are the Slayer deeds, beginning with the Angmarim-slayer deed, and really there's only one spot to do this. That would be the Iron Span, and you gotta end up killing 300 of these for the regular and then the advanced deed, so quite a lot of them, but they're pretty well concentrated here. Next up is the Dourhand-slayer deed, and again, really only one spot you can do this at, and that is going to be at the Ice Reef Mines. You can come down here and just kill Dourhands. Again, you gotta kill 300 of them for the basic and the advanced Slayer deed. Next up is the Gauradan-slayer deed, and there are multiple places that you can do this at. These guys are pretty much all over the map. Any of the battle camps, unless they're controlled by the free people, will have a good concentration of these guys. Just be aware if you kill them all, that the camp will flip to the free people and the Gauradan will disappear. For that reason, I like to do this camp over here near the western edges of Forochel, because there's always going to be Gauradan here and you don't have to worry about the camp being controlled. Next, there is the Grim-slayer deed, and this is arguably the most frustrating one of the Slayer deeds here in Forochel. There's this hill here which has the greatest concentration of these Grims. There's 6 of them on the way up the hill, and the respawn rate, unfortunately, is a little bit low, but this is the best spot to do it. Now there's also a spot, I would say maybe 600 meters to the west of here, that has 4 of these Grim-slayers, so you could run between the two, but I actually just like to put on a movie and just kill these 6 over and over again for the Slayer deed. It's not horrible. I think it's 40 for the basic and then 80 for the advanced, so it's a little bit less in the numbers, but the respawn rate unfortunately is pretty low. Next up, there is the Sabre-tooth Slayer, and there are plenty of locations you can do this at, but I prefer this battle camp right here, just because you can bunch up a ton of them, especially if you're one of the classes that can use AoE attacks. This will be a pretty quick one for you, if you just farm this camp here. And these Saber-tooths are active even if the camp is under the control of the free people, so that's something to be aware of. You don't have to worry about it. Finally, there is the Worm-slayer deed. There's a couple of spots you can do this at. These guys are kind of everywhere, but has a pretty good concentration of them here by the salt mines and the thermal baths for the dwarves. Finally, there is the Reputation faction here in Forochel, and let's take a look at that. So we have the Losoth of Forochel. They are the only faction in the icy map. The snowmen of Forochel are distrustful and superstitious people. Dwelling ever in the shadow of Angmar, it will take many great deeds to gain favor in their eyes. So once you become kindred with them, let me go ahead and show you what happens. So the Reputation faction for the Losoth of Forochel are based here at the Great Lodge of Surikila, and you can see here on the minimap that there are several people you can speak with. So this lady gives you some housing items, and some of these are actually pretty cool, but I'm not going to bother purchasing any of those. And then here, if you speak with these 3, they will each have a set of armor that you can actually craft if you're of the right crafting profession. You either have to be a metalsmith or a tailor, and there are some special ingredients that you also have to buy in order to be able to craft these. So there's heavy, and then there are the medium and the light armor smith. But more importantly, there's this lady here who is walking around, and she has some of the better rewards. So let me go ahead and show you some of those. So there are some cloaks here. There are the ceremonial variants, which look pretty cool cosmetically, but then there's also the actual cloaks that you can purchase, and they're pretty decent. If you take a look at some of the stats, they do provide some frost mitigation. But what I am mainly interested in here is number 1, the prize Tundra Steed, I'm sorry. Let me go ahead and buy that. And then as a warden, I can buy this, Muster in Surikila, which will give me another travel skill to be able to travel here at will. So that is excellent. As you can see, I have that. Let me pull up my new mount here, and then let me quickly show you what it's going to look like, if I can find it. That bad boy right there. Let me head outside so I can show you. So let's see what this thing looks like. And it's not bad. It's a pretty basic looking steed, but I like the white color on the hair here. It's pretty cool. I enjoy it. So that is it for the reputation here in Forochel. Let's get back to some of the other things. So that is it. That is everything that I can do here in Forochel. I should not say here in Forochel because actually I'm here at the very southern end of the Trollshaws leading into Eregion for the next season. As always, you can check my website, Lord of the Rings Online. Not Lord of the Rings Online. You can check my website, renaissancegaming.net/lotro.html. You can scroll down to Forochel and you can check the completionist checklist. Anything with a quest ring next to it, I've already completed. And then there are a few quests that I missed that I'm going to have to come back to. And some of the deeds that I missed as well include the roving threats and the treasure cache, which I'll have to come back more when I'm around level 100 or so. So that's it for now. For the next season, I'm going to be using my prized Matham Society pony for being kindred with the hobbits of the Shire. So that's actually it for this season. Let's head south following this road into Eregion. This is going to be the final season before we can finally head into the Mines of Moria. This is going to be a big milestone because, again, I'm finally going to be able to start using legendary items, and that is one of the main mechanics of the game that I'm really excited about and I've been really waiting to get into. So thanks again for another great season. Be sure to join the fellowship by hitting the subscribe button, and I will see you next time.